Yeah, this is like this is one of those races. While the both teams are not probably in league standing, they're still gonna do their matches to see if they start off get a good strong end for the season as well. So it's still something to learn and go by. You still need to put in some hours, even though it's probably going to be worth it. As we get some hook shot from Link's house Sanctuary, we got a piece of art.
Awesome. I love the hookshot as first item. It is one of my favorite first items to get. How about you?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a favorite early game. You got that movement options, and then you can do early check for stun prize. And not only that, you can do some kills with it as well, believe it or not.
One shot on mini Moldorms.
It is a very useful tool inside and out from start to finish. As we get a crab pool, only hearts today from the crab.
Of course. Now Aga is required, but in because this is all dungeons, but in this seed, Agadim will lead to a sword on Lumberjack Ledge.
So yeah, that'll be something my runners will be looking forward to acquiring. That is, if they get the necessary utensils to get into Aga Tower, which is 2 keys to the Aga Tower. You also need a massive sword or a cape and a lantern.
Sword. Oh, we've got a freeze on Jet side, but he's picking up flippers in the woods.
Yeah, it seems like the sync is between the two streams are a little bit out of sync, so they just synced up the sides, which is completely fine. As we do get our flippers.
And gloves. Wow, the woods has flippers and gloves. That's pretty loaded.
Pretty loaded for an early start off. Just really nice to see that going. And it looks like apathyduck is going to go ahead and follow right behind. I'm going to check Aga. Well, it's a good idea to not check Aga until you get your boots. So, well, the Lumberjack Ledge at least. So,
right, because even with if you take down Aga, you can't get it anyway without boots.
As we get a tree pool of hearts today.
And there's also a tree pool of arrows for apathyduck.
And Kakariko Village, we're going to see the drop down well from Jet, pulling up a heart.
Doesn't have bombs, though, so he's going to have to come back. Oh, a bow!
It's not a bad find, but you do have to, unfortunately does have to double dip into there just to get the bow, which I'm pretty sure he's not really enthusiastic for having to do, but sometimes it may be necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't have the rupees to go down lower in Kakariko and buy bombs, so he's probably hoping to either find some here or just get as much as he can without having bombs.
And none of the chests seem to be helping him out at all for getting any kind of money or even bombs for that matter. This may be the one of those kinds of seeds where you just have to just improvise off of it and perhaps come back later to do those 2 checks. Well, 3 checks.
I think that's what we're seeing here from apathyduck. He is doing the checks he can that don't have that don't need bombs, and he actually had enough rupees to buy them, so he routed that in right away.
Thankfully enough, we do get in the tavern a moon pearl, so we're gonna be seeing some if it's anything of any indication, we're gonna see some shenanigans coming up soon once we go to South Shore. Okay,
so apathyduck up a small key to Palace of Darkness, which these small keys are worth a lot, and that's one of the 3 items that Jet is going to be missing in Kakariko for now. And the stun price is a rupee.
One single rupee. Rather unfortunate too. We get 5 rupees though from the tree pool. I think that's the tier 2.
So we've seen all tree pools. We've seen hearts, arrows, and 5 rupees. There was a map in the back of well, so not really anything missing for Jet there.
Hopefully there's nothing huge in the back of in the back of Blind Hut, because if that's the case, then oh no, he may end up. It may end up coming up to bite him in the rear end very early in this race. Let's hope that's not the case.
Yeah, you hate to see it, but well, these things happen.
Got a heart. That. Oh yeah, that's right. We did do these checks. We just looked for the back of the road.
This is.
All right, now Jet doing the brave decision of going into the escape sequence. Now he has 10 arrows. He has the hook shot. I would like to think that should be at the very least enough to take out the initial 3 guards needed to open up the room to allow him to get to Zelda's dungeon.
Yeah, quick 2. He even gets an arrow back. Look at that. The 1 arrow use.
That's actually like in this case very niche situation that was totally worth getting. Even if it is absolutely nothing, in the end of it all.
The back of well was just 5. I think it was 5 rupees.
It was 5 rupees.
And it was 20 rupees in the back of Blind's hut.
So yeah, not much is in the back of those. So it may have been a good thing that that Jet went this way as well. As we get in the back of Escape, a sword, and along with a map and some rupees, but that's still something worth having.
Definitely, that sword is gonna make everything just a bit smoother. And well, maybe it's a good thing, but I'm expecting it to go back there. He's gonna try and do that, of course, when he's not gonna lose too much time. But it's still gonna cost him just a little bit more.
Just a little bit, because his opponent had to do the same anyway. So if anything, he's not gonna lose as much time. He'll probably route that in when he's go back to Kakariko in order to get to the Dark World, which I would like to think that would be the play.
We're seeing a quick Houlihan here from apathyduck getting some rupees up.
Man, leaving that 1-5 alone. Actually, I don't blame him leaving that 5 like that.
And Jet does a quick far back to the start of Castle. He's gonna go to the escape.
Okay, so hopefully we'll see something in Dark Cross that'll give us something enticing. At least I will hope so. But the problem is, Jet does not have a lantern, so he'll be filling around in the dark for it. So we'll get to see how good Jet can maneuver in the dark here in a moment.
That hookshot, of course, giving that hookshot giving a very clear indication of how far you can still go, of course.
Plus, if any enemy is in the way, you can just quickly snap them. We'll snap them up with the hookshot. This is why hookshot is very good to have very early in the scene, because it could just do wonders.
We've got a Turtle Rock big key there from the dam.
That will be very useful. I don't have to really hunt that down, but it's still probably not something they're looking forward to getting. Perhaps they were hoping for more progression, but you know what? That's fine. Any big key that you can acquire that is probably not Ice Palace, Swamp Palace, and Skull Woods is probably worth getting in the long run. But still having those 3 big keys as well will allow you to do one more check in those respective dungeons, allow you to route more effectively. So coming across them is not a huge detrimental, but you're still looking for something better than that.
After that, going for even more rupees as he's going in and out to respawn these pots. And I'm thinking he's planning on going to Zora very soon.
Yeah.
I don't really see any other reason why he would stack up like this already.
Yeah, that is the play that I'm definitely understanding here, because after he will at the very least check a few of the areas here, which I'm guessing he's hoping for something good to be on the ledge, which is Bombos. But he's also going to check Agina's cave.
Well, he can't really get it yet, but at least he knows.
And sometimes that information is useful to have very early.
And Jet's going into Agina's closet here.
More likely he's going to look to do just go ahead and straight into Palace of Darkness. Oh, that's a hammer in Agina's cave. That is huge.
Nice.
That's Dark World access right there.
And really fast. I mean, we're 9 minutes 45 for Dark World access. That is super fast.
Hey, who's up for Hype Cave today? I am. Meanwhile, the back of Za's hut didn't really yield much, but it looks like Jet's going to go ahead into Eastern Palace to finish that up, and that'll be our first Crystal Dungeon. Well, our first dungeon.
Well, yeah, he doesn't have the big key, so he can't yet.
Oh, right. That's right. This is Key Sanity.
Also, we found out that the green pendant is in Desert Palace because Jet did talk to Agina.
Yep.
All right, let's
So,
rate some.
Think about it now, this probably is not a bad idea to dip into Eastern like this. You can clean it out, and if it's not something that you will be able to get, not be able to finish, you can come back to it later when you route it in with Pod.
Yeah. You really want to do that when you have the... If you don't do it now, you want to do it when you have the mirror. But of course, he doesn't know when I'm going to get Dark World access. Where is that mirror? So he's here anyway. Definitely, I absolutely agree with this choice of doing it now. So what do you think of that Hype Cave, though?
Yeah, that is a Hype Cave.
Fire Rod and Master Sword is I'm giving it a solid 9 out of 10.
Meanwhile, Jet finding a bottle in Eastern Palace, so that will at least grants him another check. I hope that does not sway him away from the desert area where the hammer is located, because that's what he's gonna need to at least do a lot more checks in the Dark World.
And that's gonna be fully dependent on what the Sicket, of course, gives him, because we know that the other checks that he's not done yet in Kakariko won't really lead him anywhere.
And blue mail for our troubles in Eastern. After we get take a look at one more chest here, which is at the long way around into the big key chest. More likely or not, we're gonna see him retreat, move to another area. I don't like to think he'll go South Shore at this point.
South Shore, he hasn't done South Shore yet, and there's still a lot in South Shore that apathyduck also hasn't done yet. Maybe Molorm and Ice Rod Cave, for example.
Yeah, like apathyduck, just like the moment he pulled up the hammer from Agina's cave, he just said, "You know what? Let's go to Dark World right now." And take a look at what we got going on here as he is moving towards Skull Woods. He can steal a key here and proceed to finish the dungeon. And hopefully that'll grant him the first dungeon completed for the seed. But we would like to see some pretty tasty stuff at the back over there. Especially since he has that fire rod. Because yeah, he's looking to intend to clear that dungeon, and it's always in good conscience to always be clearing your dungeons when you have the ability to do so, because that could lead you to some more progression. As he takes an intentional death, which is pretty smart, allows him to get back to the entrance, but also recover all those hearts that he has lost. Jet, go ahead.
Yeah, like you were saying, there's no real reason to put it off. If you're in the neighborhood, you can clear it. Just do it. There's also chests there where you can get even more items. You're gonna need to full clear pretty much everything anyway, because it's all dungeons key sanity. You can't orphan chests because you will regret it.
Yeah, there may be several cases, like maybe near towards the end, where you can probably orphan chest. But when it's this early in the seed, you might as well be as thorough as possible, just so you can at the very least come across some goodies.
And it pretty much never puts you behind unless you're just unlucky, because your opponent's going to be doing the same.
And we are at the Mini Mort Cave. Let's see what the cave has in store for us. From the chest, 50 rupees. A whole heart, compass to Desert Palace, 300 rupees and some bombs.
Yeah, those 300 rupees are I'm not gonna say big fine, but pretty good, because it's gonna save him all the effort that apathyduck has done to get his money up to maybe go to Zora later.
Yeah, that's that's something that you probably should be wary about, especially if you're considering doing Houlihan, because that takes up some time to prep it up just to get into that room, and then take the time to collect all those rupees. So yeah,
he does have the money already right now, so he can just go over because he has flippers. It's all in logic anyway.
yeah, you can go ahead and do all the flipper checks in the light world and see what's going on over there. As we get a quick kill from apathyduck and pulls out the mirror. Queen, click, and get the mirror. This is a huge play.
apathyduck just making all the right calls here today for the loot he finds.
I like to think he feels pretty good about finding that. Making the early dive to the Skull Woods definitely played in his favor.
Jet is picking up a little bit extra because I'm thinking he wants to do Zora's Domain and then have enough to go back to Kakariko and still be the bottle vendor.
Yeah. You do need at the very least 100 more rupees on top of that, just so you can do the bottle vendor. So yeah, there is no argument there as to acquiring more money, because money will always be in logic in this randomizer, because you at the very least need money for Zora, the bottle vendor, getting into Palace Darkness, as well as doing Diggy Game and the chess game, if I'm not mistaken. And there's 300 more rupees in the Skull Woods area.
Let's not forget, you also need 10 rupees for the Smith chain.
Ah, yes, the Smith chain.
You rescued a guy and he's like, all right, cool, you rescued me, now give me money.
Well, to be fair, he could be charging far more for that item check, and that would be very criminal.
Oh, that's our second key to Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, that's another good find to round in. So looks like there won't be an early dip just yet into Palace of Darkness until we get perhaps the big key. Speaking of the big key in Dark Palace, Jet picking up the big key from Hobo, as we see on the cliffs side from Bumper Cave, a piece of heart. I'm pretty sure none of our owners are gonna make their attempt to go out of the way to get to that Jet. That
would confuse me if they did.
It'll be very confusing. It'll take a lot of effort, especially since they still don't have the cape. Wouldn't make much sense.
I mean, even if I had the cape, wouldn't do that, and I'm not even good at this game.
All right, and in our waterfall ferry, we got a piece of heart and some bombs. That's not that great. But the fairy giving us a blue potion for our troubles kind of makes up for it just a little bit. So that's just free blues for the rest of the sea.
Graveyard Ledge giving us big 20. And Jet finding a key on Zora's Ledge. Which one will it be? I hope it's a useful one at least.
But before they get to that key, they're gonna pay a visit to the King Zora, and pay the tribute to get scammed. Because you got to pay for the privilege. You say, you know what they say.
It's totally worth it with Quake coming out. Well, is it worth it? That remains to be seen, because we don't know what the entrances require for Misery Mire and Turtle Rock.
That is correct. We do know Bombos is on Desert Ledge, and that's just about it. Like, we're still, if we're going in blind, we are still gonna need that Ether Medallion just to ensure entry to both of those dungeons. As we do get a big key to Thieves Town, I feel like that'll be
also a very important one. That'll be what? Sorry?
I was saying, I feel like at this point, Jet will probably check, after checking the backup sewers here, more likely going to check Desert after this, just to see those 2 random checks to finally get their Dark Road access.
Yeah, he doesn't have too much else left. At least not in logic. He could go up that mountain and check old man there, but that's not in logic.
Yeah, that's not in logic at all. But it looks like apathyduck is tracing Jet steps as Jet.
Yeah, he's actually gonna go to Kakariko first to get all those checks he missed, and hand in the bottle and pay the bottle vendor.
All right. Yeah, that would be the more logical play here, but we know that's like not the exact play to get your Dark World access.
Well, yeah, but that's because
Hopefully,
we know.
yeah, hopefully after all these miscellaneous checks that Jet does, they don't linger too far behind because
Jet going up the mountain after all?
they do. Okay, to be fair, they do have the hook shot, so they can go to Paradox Cave if they want to. So
fair, yeah. It's still surprising me.
But yeah, you can breaking the logic on this one is not that huge of an issue, but it will allow you to get you more checks on the way, especially the location for the check from the old man, as well as getting the save point from the starting point from this mountain will be a good idea to get, as you get a small key to Dark Palace. So that's key number 3
that we know of.
That we know, yeah.
Which is of course, a very important key. Those 3 keys can allow you to get to the boss, but you won't be able to get all the items if you do.
So yeah, we're looking for key number 4 here in this situation for Dark Palace, and once one of our runners get the exact location of it, they'll most likely take a dive in it, as well as go through the process of getting all those goodies that's in there, as we do get a key on top of Spectacle Rock.
It's lying there. 4 keys is the magical number for Palace of Darkness. You can get everything in Palace of Darkness with 4 keys if you refrain from opening the front door and as well bomb jump over to the big chests.
Yeah, we like to call that hammer yupping.
Hammer jump, that's what I meant, sorry. But of course, even if you don't, even with 4 keys, that actually does not put those checks in logic yet, though. You need all 6 keys to put most of those checks in logic.
We do get a key to Spectacle Rock, a Paradox Cave, and a boomerang. Meanwhile, apathyduck went to do his checks in the Dark World Thieves Town. Man, these simultaneous checks, I can't keep track of it. We do get a map for Ganon's Tower from Jet, a piece of heart. Mushroom on apathyduck's side, a compass for Ganon's Tower, and a small key to Misery Mire.
A small key Misery Mire, of course, making your routing just a little bit easier.
May open up a good check, maybe open up a prosperic check or two to some huge progression. I would like to hope, but outside of that, just a convenient item to have at this point, a convenient key. And as we get on top of the mountain, the small little island has a piece of heart, and we're gonna check Spiral Cave. Meanwhile, apathyduck pulling up 20 rupees at the very first chest, making his way to the ambush chest from the Thief Sound dungeon.
He does have the big key here, so he can do everything except check the big chests, because that's where he needs the small key for. So do you think he's gonna go throughout the entire dungeon and clear it while he's here?
It would be a gamble to isolate just that one chest in the dungeon. That is okay. So if he goes into the back room, I feel like he'll gamble on that. And commit to not opening that chest. It'll probably the last location if it does have progression, but it may or may not pay off in the end. As we get a whole heart from the 4th chest. It looks like he is going to go ahead and go into the back part. After he dodges the few.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And now we're getting those Kakariko checks that we were expecting from Jets.
Unfortunately, the Kakariko checks only yielded rupees and some miscellaneous items. Hopefully, he won't feel too bummed out about it.
1 pot small key, and of course 2 checks that we don't know about yet. So he's got big 20 there. He's got a 5 rupee waiting for him in the well.
I think the pod key was like in Chicken Hut, right?
It was.
Okay. He'll probably need more money though, just so he can at the very least cover for pod entry once he does start making his way to there. So it won't be a huge loss.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's you want to make sure that you don't go over there and then not have 110. Ice Rod in the Thieves Town attic.
Well, we don't have to worry about checking for Ice Rod today, seeing as it fell in our laps in the dungeon.
Yeah, those were some expensive bombs from Bottle Vendor.
Very expensive bombs.
And here's the ball.
Yep.
And well, there's his Spirit Witch's last check. He has barely anything left, so I think now we're after this. Then after the kid, unless the kid gives him something major, we're gonna see him go to Agina, like you said.
Oh, that's the big key to Ice Palace. That's not that bad. Could be better, but not that bad.
It's an extra check he doesn't have to worry about. Bottle of green goo in the jail cell.
That will be helpful in the long run, but he already took care of Mahula, which was probably the main reason why you'll want a green bottle to begin with. As Jet is going to do a blind race just to get through it and hopefully get something good out of it. He's hoping for.
So Jet's doing a blind race, and apathyduck is racing blind. All right, cool.
Going to get a small key for the efforts there. Which key is this? It is the Skull Woods key. Well, you don't have to navigate. Don't have to worry about navigating that much into Skull Woods now with that kind of key. You can do the front checks not too much of an issue. As blind,
nice,
gives us a big key to Misery Mire. That is a very great find.
Very, yeah. He can now make his way through the back. He already has the, I think, the one small key. Oh no, actually, it was Jet that picked up the small key to Misery Mire. My bad.
Yeah, Jet picked up the key to Misery Mire. And even then, they still need Titan's Mint and the Flute in order to get to Misery Mire to begin with, so...
It's still a bit away, absolutely.
Thankfully enough... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. So I'm expecting Jet, of course, to get a second Skullwoods key that apathyduck already has, so that's going to make his routing through Skullwoods even easier.
And Jet is now approaching to his big Dark World access passage. He's going to open his chest up, and he's going to feel like he is very far behind, saving the quitting because he knows he has to go ahead and do some Dark World checks immediately.
Yeah, Jet is 2 dungeons behind. These dungeons are, of course, very, very quick dungeons, but still, you are that amount behind, and he doesn't know that apathyduck has that mirror.
I feel like with the fact that he has Blue Potion, Blue Mail, and once he gets his Fire Rod, he will definitely start making his way towards to that side of the map to go ahead and clear out Thieves Town and to Skull Woods in the same fashion that our friend apathyduck has done so.
Yes, Monster is gonna come straight into his sight when he sees that Fire Rod come up.
Small key to Skull Woods, and there's our Fire Rod. probably gonna do the rest of the south checks in the Dark World. That means checking Stumpy, as well as doing the Dig Cave. He's gonna have to skip out on doing Cave 45 because he does not have the magic mirror. But once he gets that from Mothula, he'll probably check there once he does the Smith chain. Should he do the Smith chain, that is.
It's always nice to be able to route that in with that. Otherwise, it feels like a bit of out of the way. And ALTTTPR now doing some Light World Overworld checks that Jet has already done. Another check that he's done is Jet has gone to Saha's closet, as well as the entire front of Eastern Palace. And that was the high five from the players.
Well, more like an elbow bump at this point. We gotta practice our social distancing.
And absolutely.
Keep ourselves up in the appropriate distance, making sure that we don't make sure that we do our part in our troubling times. As we do get a piece of heart from the digging game.
And trying to get a little bit more money so that he can he gets a 20, building up towards that money he needs for the Palace of Darkness eventually.
Yeah, it looks like he will be aiming towards going to there soon enough once he gets some more keys. He does have the big key to it. He just needs to look for 2 more keys to be able to full clear it, which is the ideal situation that you want to do.
And the first one of those 2 he will be picking up in Skull Woods, where I think he's heading there right now. And that's another thing Jet has done that apathyduck is now making his way to: Uncle and Escape. Right, apathyduck may have done Uncle already, I don't fully remember, but Escape
he did it.
Not.
Yeah, he did Uncle. He did Uncle already. Just that was the first thing that he did, which is why he got the hook job very early. But yeah, just following the traces of Jet right now, going through the escape sequence. More likely going to check Dark Cross to see if it has progression. I don't think it did, if I remember correctly. Otherwise, Jet Tracker would have lit up with an item that apathyduck didn't have.
Having a quick look here, and oh yeah, he has the fire rod. So the so Dark Cross is in logic because every room on your way there has a torch to light.
Pulls up the 50 rupees and he decides to mirror out. It looks like he is going... Okay. He is going to go to escape, the first part of escape, which would make sense. I would like to think after this, he will mirror out and go into the tower to check the first chest of Aghanim's tower to see what's up in there.
Well, if you're there already, you might as well. I think that's a fair call.
While our runners are retracing each other's steps, I would like to nicely remind you all that this is A Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 3 Invitationals. This is Week 6, which is all dungeons cleared and key sanity. Both of our runners have to complete each dungeon, including Agina 1 and Ganon's Tower, in order to defeat Ganon, which is at the end.
We're gonna fight Agina now. I think he's. I won't be able to defend
we just gotta
himself.
we just gotta go to the dark cave and beat him up. He's an old man. He can't defend himself that well.
Should be a quick fight. It's a wheel one cycle.
But yeah, what I meant to say is Aghanim. But yeah. Do give our runners a respectful follow in their channels if you enjoy watching this run, as well as my fabulous co-commentator Rive over here, as well as our tracker and our restreamer MM2 NS Cartridge and Duodeca, doing the fabulous work of providing us the streams today.
As now Jet picks up his mirror in a very smooth modular fight. So apparently chat thinks Agina is some sort of mechanic that will make a robot to defeat. He's gonna MacGyver us, I think. Now this surprised me a bit that apathyduck is now making the call to go up the mountain. He's gonna be able to check more than Jet was, but it's still out of logic.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit of logic without the lantern, but by doing this, he will be able to get to Tower of Hera thanks to the fact that he has the mirror. He'll also be able to check that key that's on top of Spectacle Rock too, so that'll be a good thing to check out what's over there as well. As he picks up his key to Dark Palace, which makes it key number 3.
And Jet is about to pick up his third as well. But apathyduck is not by cabbages.
He is not going to go into doing Tower of Hera. Instead, he is going to go straight into Paradox Cave. Item density wise, this is the play to do it if you're basing your checks off of that. But you're also on top at the top of Death Mountain already. You might as well go ahead and get that out the way.
Can't do much. The question is, does he know how to Herapot with bombs? Because if he does not, he won't be able to do much in there.
Good point. And yeah, that's something else to note. Neither of our runners has boots, so he can't really clip into Herapot, even if he wants to, with the
hookshot speed. And hookshot speed and bomb clip for Herapot, they're very different in the one with the same results.
Yeah, very different, same results, but the I feel like the bomb one is a lot more difficult because you had to line yourself up at the pixel perfect area, where with the boots you could just smash yourself into the pot itself until you clip into it to be able to get to it.
You just have to kind of pause at the right frame so that you can then just hook into it. Yeah. And again, some retracing here as Jet checks Village of Outcast, probably gonna follow up with Thief's Town, as he does have that big key for that as well. And apathyduck is now doing Paradox Cave, as we've already seen after having cleared Paradox Cave.
I feel like he will do a quick check in Tower of Hera just to see what the first 2 checks has to hold. And if he does have the ability to go ahead and clip into Herapot to finish that dungeon, he'll most likely do so. But that is until we figure out what he does after this check.
So saving quitting, probably back to the old man so he can go up the mountain. There he goes.
All right, looks like Tower of Hera is the play for him today. And Jet opening up, getting his 50 rupees from the chess game, so that takes care of that.
Yeah, he's set for money for what he absolutely needs for the rest of the seed. Maybe he wants some more to buy some potions at some time, but even that he's already got a good amount of.
Yeah, he already got a good amount of, and it's worth noting that Waterfall Fairy did provide us with a blue pot for free. So he can just always go back to there and get some more free blue pots if that's the case. It's a little further away than the desired location, but you know what? We take those.
If you're missing the rupees, it's still faster than trying to farm the rupees.
Right.
And it's actually not that far away once you have the flute, because you can flute to number 8 and then just take the world.
Yep. Which I kind of hope our runners will come across very soon, because this seed is looking not only pretty linear, but pretty hard to...
Oh. Did you see that?
I wish I did, because I looked away for one moment.
It was the ever important Swamp Palace Walkie.
Oh, wow. That will allow. Oh, there's a lantern. That means Flute is in logic.
Actually, I was about to say the Flute has to be in logic if the lantern is on the mountain. So
Yeah.
where's that Flute?
Where is that Flute? Indeed. And there's a big key to Desert Palace.
And looks like he is setting up the bomb Hera on here.
All right.
Making good use of those blue blocks because they will put you on the correct Y coordinate automatically.
Hang on. Yeah, that was a very terrific Hera clip right there.
Yeah, very smooth.
So you're gonna go ahead and hop, skip, and jump the rest of these checks here to go to fight the boss.
This all still out of logic technically, but hey, if you can clear it, why wouldn't you? It's only Moldor.
It's free real estate is what I like to call it.
As we see Jet do the exact things that apathyduck has done earlier in Thieves Town.
Only 20 rupees from Mort himself.
So
Take
how
care.
about we think, where could that Flute be?
I would like to think if they got the big key to Pod already from Hobo, I feel like Pod is the play here. Pod, and then
Could it be
I
on
guess
Catfish?
hoping that Desert Palace big key will be in there. I feel like Pod is
Oh no,
low.
Desert Palace Big Key, it was in Hera.
Yeah, Desert Palace big key was in here, but I was talking about the. Oh yeah, did I say Desert Palace? I meant Eastern Palace. I'm sorry. But yeah, I feel like they're hoping to look for Eastern Palace big key and Pod. I feel like Pod is loaded. Pod is definitely loaded at this point.
Chat pointing out they've had that shroom for a while. Both players. Could that shroom be holding the flutes?
True enough, that could be the case.
And it looks like we're actually gonna. Oh no, I was thinking that we were gonna see. Oh, it might still be the case. So apathyduck is gonna check Mini Morum Cave because he hasn't done that yet, and we might be seeing a Swamp Palace clear. He does have that hookshot hammer and flippers, which is all that's really required.
Yes, we did check the front of Eastern. We didn't really find anything useful from there. So we're hoping Pod will have the things needed for Eastern, as well as a lot of other things right
But with this, actually, yeah, isn't Swamp Palace also in logic?
Swamp Palace definitely isn't. Well, wait, they did find a small key on top of Tower. Not on top of Tower here, but
it was on Spectacle Rock. So it's
if that's the case,
not in
then
logic.
yeah, if that's the case, then Flute is definitely not in Swamp Palace then, because in order to get entry, the first chest could be the Flute. You're right. First chest could be the Flute, but I feel like that's highly unlikely. And if it is, I will quit.
Yeah, every single chest, it's highly unlikely that's in that one specific chest. That's why you check a lot of chests.
I mean, not the huge offender. But it's still kind of a disgusting chat to come across and find out that Flute is definitely in the first chest of Swamp Palace. As we're going ahead and do that one check just to see if it is true, is Flute in the first chest?
Oh my god.
Esper Hub, has resigned to being a commentator. I hope that my co-commentator can continue to do his best in his efforts of finishing this seed. I'd like to thank everyone here that is watching today who have supported me in my commentary endeavors.
So now that my co-commentator has lost his mind and has left reality, it's all up to me now for the rest of this scene. It's still going to be a little bit more than an hour at least, because these scenes tend to take 2 hours and a little bit. So I'll try to do my best here. Oh yeah, like, don't forget to pick up that key. And we're going to get to see actually what the shroom delivers. It's just a piece of heart. Actually, how about this, chat? Let's do a Peter Pan here. If y'all really believe we can bring Hub back, but you have to truly believe.
All right, I'm back. I'm done having my moment. I had to mute my microphone to laugh because I really hated that. Someone delete this scene.
Sorry?
I had to. Someone delete this scene. I just. Oh man.
I'm hoping somebody clipped that or is gonna clip that because that would be awesome. Oh, Turtle Rock Smolky in Swamp Palace. Nice find, of course. Oh wait, did we get a check from? Yeah, Jet checked Catfish and I missed it.
Yeah, Jet. Well, not Jet, but Duck has did the check for Catfish because he looped that into.
Okay.
But yeah. Oh my goodness.
Getting a diver down set here, diver down setup here for apathyduck.
Yeah, you can do even without the King of Zamora. You can do this with bombs with the proper lineup.
It's actually surprisingly easy lineup. All you have to do is walk up against the rail, go to the left, place the bomb, jump in. As you're jumping in, you press down right again, and immediately switch to just pressing right, and you're just pushing into the railing, and the bomb will push you completely into the railing. Of course, it being easy is another thing entirely, and doing it as smoothly as he did.
We did get a check on the pyramid, but it looks like it was nothing resourceful. As we check our west side of Swamp Palace, we get some 50 rupees.
And just making that pop play. Oof. So, left side swamp is loaded with cash.
Very, very loaded.
So I'm hoping for Jet that he finds something good here, because of course that flute being in the front of Swamp Palace, he's not gonna go there anytime soon until he's gonna go back up the mountain to pick up that small key. But of course, yeah, so it's unlikely for him to check that one chest unless he's already in the neighborhood, which there's no real reason for him to be, as far as I can tell, anytime soon. So nothing's gonna bring the mountain in logic for him. So what's he gonna do? Is he gonna? Well, he can of course put use a safe mode to get back up there, but is he gonna go back up there with the hammer to do the Tarahera stuff? I don't know. The quicker the better, of course.
As we do get our small key for Tower of Hera in the Swamp Palace. No, I am not going to be salty about this. I will never stop being. I'm never going to not be salty about this. Just
yeah, rando's gonna rando, man.
Delete this scene. All right, but on Jet's side, we're checking both sides locked for Titan's mitts.
That's a great find. Nice.
Big boy gloves. We're gonna lift some heavy rocks today.
I'm expecting that's a great find, because that's gonna send him back up the mountain.
Allow him to do some overworld, dark world checking with those gloves.
And he'll also, while he's there, get his spectacle rock checks in with the mirror, so that way he can make his way back to Swamp Palace. get his flute on.
I feel like though it pushes him further away from the flute, which may end up being a bad thing in the long run of it.
I think that's gonna greatly depend on what he finds in those remaining checks in Dark Death Mountain, because I feel like that glove sends him back to Death Mountain, and that's where the small key to Swamp Palace on top of Spectacle Rock. So unless he finds something there that really sends him a very specific way, Swamp Palace is gonna be the play for him.
Yeah, I can see that. As apathyduck finishes up his Argus fight.
Dungeon number 4 already.
Another crystal in hand. Time to come up with another new plan at this point. I think he's going to check the Hyrule Lake Island. And then after that, he is going to go ahead and free the bird and get moseying on over. More likely going to go ahead and make the decision to go to Pod after this. As we do see Samora Kane get pulled up from Harmless Hellway. Harmless Hellway. Ugh. Say that.
Apathyduck is going to check Ice Cave first. Because he hasn't done Ice World Cave yet.
Okay. And there is the cape. So.
And a clean hammer yum from Jet.
Very, very good.
And Hobo. He hasn't done Hobo yet, so he's going to go pick up his big key there.
Yeah, he will be heading. Yeah, that big key. I feel like that's going to direct him towards doing Pod very, very soon.
The first of the two Castle Tower small keys in the dark in Palace of Darkness.
Convenient.
Well, that's all in logic now for Apathyduck, though. He has that lamp, which he got in the Tower of Hera basement, and he has the flute, so it's all in logic now for him. The pieces have come together.
Yeah, and after we found the redacted somewhere, we finally got all the stuff that's needed to put Death Mountain into logic, at the very least.
As we see Jet now making his way to Helmasaur. Now, is destroying Helmasaur's you missed Jet. Is destroying Helmasaur's helm with bombs always an option?
It is always an option, but with Hammer, you might as well just start hammering away with it. It's a lot more effective that way. You don't have to wait much as far as like dealing with it. I think it takes like 8 bombs to crack that helmet open, if I'm not mistaken.
I read somewhere that it was 5 bombs, but I was wondering if that was that was part of a specific game mode, or if that was always a thing. Well, another new thing I've learned.
I mean, don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it is probably 5, but it could be 8. Someone else in chat probably has better knowledge of it, so.
I was about to say, like, even if it's wrong, somebody in chat's probably gonna correct you anyway.
I mean, I don't mind. I mean, that's what knowledge is for, right? Knowledge is power.
Absolutely. The fastest way to find the right answer on the internet is not to ask for the right answer. Answer. It's to say the wrong answer, and somebody will correct you. The best thing is somebody posted that as saying that it was Murphy's Law, and the first thing that happened was somebody corrected him that it was not Murphy's Law. But give the name of the law. Immediately proving the point, of course. And we have Jet here now in the fight with Helmasaur as Apathyduck is coming up on Palace of Darkness. Also, actually, Apathyduck only has 3 small keys, while Jet has 4. So he will have to be a little more careful in what he does, or Jet's fine inside.
Yeah, he'll have to be a little bit more frugal with his keys. He'll have to skip out on opening the front of the Palace of Darkness. Like he can never touch that door.
The thing is, Jet could also not touch that. Oh, there's the fourth key. I was
Oh,
wondering.
there's our small key.
Yeah, because I was thinking he's gonna need to skip something if he only goes in with 3 keys, and I was thinking if he's gonna skip something, he's gonna skip Harmless Hellway, and he's gonna miss
And
that
that's
red
like
key.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
he has that fourth key now, so he's not. He's gonna be good.
yeah, smart play on him to check that hut first before going anywhere else, which is probably the most smartest, which is probably the most common sense thing to do in this kind of run.
Jet's spotting that Cape now on the island as well, and I think he's gonna be going into Ice Palace here. Oh, I just noticed on our tracker for Jet, the gloves are still marked as just Power Gloves Titan's Mitts. Alright, so our tracker did not miss it, but the tracker program is not working with him.
Hopefully we can get that back up and running without much issues, I hope.
Yet another small key to Skull Woods. He's already got everything there. Jet's thinking, that was a useless find. He's got that red gain, so we're gonna see a door state extension in a moment here, most likely from Jet after he hits that button.
Yeah, there's a reason why they specifically call that room the icebreaker room at this point, because it breaks the ice dungeon completely open. Makes the routing a lot easier to do, and just if you really want to beeline it to the boss, you can do it right here and there.
And you also don't need to learn the bomb jump if you have the cane, but of course you should learn the bomb jump for when you don't have the cane.
Exactly. You should always learn bomb jump. Ice Palace bomb jump is one of those key things that is definitely something that should be learned, because if you're heavy reliant on some of the more newer glitches without really adapting to the ones predecessoring to that one, you're gonna be you're gonna be in those stuck situations where you do need to do it, and you're just gonna be standing in there hours on end trying to do it, and then failing to do so.
Yeah, and that's the end of your race, pretty much. Of course, if you're a casual like me, that's just your fate. Yeah, yay, another key to Palace of Darkness.
Another key to Palace of Darkness. After we just got done checking that area out.
Yeah, Ice Palace is really not delivering for Jet here.
It's rather unfortunate, but at the very least, he can full clear this as well as go over into the boss, bonk him, and then move on with his life.
Yeah, absolutely. He's not really missing. He's not really losing time, because these are all checks that we'll also be seeing from apathyduck. Probably in a bit.
And who knows, maybe huge progression is in the T-Slime room.
Or on the boss, maybe even. Oh, chat is talking about if apathyduck is going to isolate Samaria. Did Apathy open the front door?
It looks like he did, because he only has one key left. And if that's the case, that is a huge issue.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's what I was afraid of when he came over there with 3 keys, but he's doing it even with 4 keys.
Well, he's going to find a small key in Ice Palace, and he's going to go. Eventually, he'll go back over there.
Eventually, that's one of those really
And
dangerous.
in fact, he's going to last locations some more arcane at this point. And by the time he's last locations, that he's gonna Jet will probably either catch up to him or move right past him as far as clearing dungeons.
I would say that apathyduck has a slight lead at this point, but really not that much, because a lot of the stuff Jet has done is stuff he needs to do anyway, and there's enough of things that makes me think he'll be going up the mountain and getting his key and lamp and whatnot soon enough. So I feel like Jet is really not far behind, but if this Red Cane stays away for too long, that is going to be major. It's going to make him lose time in Ice Palace, and who knows where else, because he's going to be doing checks he doesn't need to. So yeah, apathyduck for him, Dark Death Mountain. Death Mountain is in the logic. He has those mids now as well, so I'm expecting him to go to Ice Palace and Dark Death Mountain. Those are the two major things I'm expecting here to see from him. Or Mire. He does have Mire area, the shed, and checkerboard gave available to him.
Yeah, they do also have the big keys to there, so Mire could be the next play to go to at this point.
apathyduck not going to be as keen to go into Mire, of course, because he does not have that the Samaria case, so he can't finish it. And if both players have. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, and if he does like dip into it, thinking he'll double dip into it, he'll end up with much more time lost than ever because Samaria Kane is right where he passed it in this dungeon.
Of course, it's very likely that the players will be able to enter because they do have Quake already in their inventory, and Bombos is sitting on Desert Ledge. 2 out of 3 medallions available, so entrance is likely but not guaranteed. Maybe it's Ether after all. And there's that small key for Jet that he really needed. That's gonna lead him back to Swamp Palace after he's done here on the mountain. So he's gonna be right back up right behind where apathyduck is now.
Gonna find the mirror. Well, not find the mirror, but he's gonna get his lamp. Going to go ahead and parapod clip into the upper half, finish that boss off, and then just start working towards going into Swamp Palace thanks to that huge key that he just found. Well, small key. We might also call it the huge key because that key opens up a lot of stuff in Swamp Palace.
That's a pretty huge key. Big things come in small packages,
as they would put it.
And welcome viewers from SpeedGaming Channel 1, as here the race is undergoing with apathyduck just defeating King Helmetor for his 5th dungeon clear, as Jet is making his way up to the Tower of Hera for his 5th. At this point, the biggest difference that we have is that Jet has found the hammer quite a bit later than apathyduck, putting him a little bit behind. But apathyduck did isolate the Red Cane in Palace of Darkness, which Jet did pick up while he was there, because Jet skipped opening the front door. So this is going to make a major difference in what's going to come up. Of course, because they only had 4 keys to Palace of Darkness, the Red Cane is technically not in logic.
Yeah, funny enough, the other key to Dark Palace is in Ice Palace. So the further away apathyduck puts off going to Ice Palace, the further behind he'll end up being.
And where's that 6th key? Because technically that is only in the Red Cane is only logic once you have all 6 keys.
Yep. We have no idea where the 6th key is at just yet. But more likely not, when that is found, they'll be going towards the... Well, when apathyduck won't find it, he'll most likely go back to there. But I feel like he's on the last location, the Red Cane. No doubt.
We're about to see here what the entrance of Turtle Rock requires on Jet's side.
I feel like it's going to be that Bombos medallion. Oh, it's the Quake! We can go in here, guys.
Actually, he only has the 1 key, though.
He does have 1 key, so he can dive a little bit deeper into there if he wants to, but the better idea would be a hook shot K and Super Bunny Hop at this point.
apathyduck, having done Palace of Darkness, of course, mirrors to Eastern Palace, is now clearing that. Jet didn't do that because he had already dipped Eastern Palace and gotten all these checks out of the way. And there's key number 6.
Alright, there's key number 6 to Dark Palace.
That is kind of good for apathyduck because it's going to make it easier for him to find, because this is one of the next checks I'm expecting him to do. But other than the Mire area and Desert Palace, perhaps. But that key might not send him there fast enough because it is, of course, an orphaned chest.
And in Super Mario Hell Cave, you get a fairy in a bottle and a whole heart. Yeah, I think it is a double diptipod if you didn't like do any sort of clips or glitches to bypass not opening up the front door and the side door that leads to Dark Maze.
Because we found the mitts in the bow lock chest, so only bow required, which leads to Ice Palace and Dark Death Mountain, leading to the 5th and 6th key, unlocking everything and putting everything in Palace of Darkness in logic. And now we're seeing what you were saying earlier, going into Turtle Rock.
All right. And we get a check on Misery Mire. Their entry is I think that was the Bombos medallion.
Oh, I missed it. Castle Tower number 2.
All right, that's our second key to Castle Tower. Right?
Where was number 1 again?
I've kind of forgotten. I felt a little. I felt some unusual sense of devastation that I kind of forgotten about it.
Because each player has one. Oh,
Okay,
Dark Maze. The Dark Maze in Palace of Darkness. Wait, did apathyduck also not do that one? Oh no, he did. He now has both those keys, and he has the big key for Dara Hera. So there was a the Mire Shed had a small key to Castle Tower, and I don't know what the other item was.
Big key to Tower of Terror. I mean, oh no, you meant the other one. The other one.
Yeah, Big Tower of Terror was in
but it's probably wasn't significant.
Must not have been important.
As we get our another bottle in Turtle Rock, as he didn't realize he doesn't have any more keys to progress deeper into there.
Yeah, so as we were saying earlier, well, Dark Death Mountain, which Jet is now doing, including Turtle Rock there, is in logic. apathyduck making the Mire Desert Palace play because he can get everything here. He has the small key, he has the big key, he has everything he needs to make his way through.
Yes, that is correct for no mode.
And so since it was Bombos on Misery Mire, yeah, that's easy entry.
So I feel like once he already collected it. So I feel like he's going to put off going into Misery Mire right now because it's not really the ideal play to do so, especially when you don't have Candace Samora. He's going to last location that one. As we get a big key in the Swamp Palace for our efforts on the key side of Eastern Palace.
That's not great because that might lead him back into Swamp Palace looking for that key eventually.
Yep.
I'm seeing the hammer being pulled out at Link's house here on Jet's side, so I'm thinking Swamp Palace. And he's gonna kick himself in the head when he finds that flute there. But little does he know, he's got the advantage at this point.
What do you mean a flute being in Swamp Palace? That would be silly. I don't remember a flute being in Swamp Palace.
It never happened. Don't worry about it. Just for the next 20 seconds, close your eyes.
Okay, I'll close my eyes. I'm closing my eyes right now.
Well, it's gotta be a bit longer. He still needs to pull the damn lever.
Oh, okay. Meanwhile, apathyduck is going to go ahead and fight Lamos. Should be able to do it with no problem. Got full magic, got fire rod. He could clear this up in no time if he does time his shots right to be able to take out all three.
No, Hub, quick, look away.
All right, I'm looking away. Oh, hey, that is interesting.
Nothing
I
happened.
didn't notice I had this finely tasty beverage right next to me.
Very beautiful one cycle with that fire off from apathyduck on Lamos.
I literally blinked and I just saw him holding up the pendant.
Yeah, that was very, very quick. That green pendant is, of course, I think in his favor again, because that might send him towards Palace of Darkness, Eastern Palace area a little bit sooner. Once he picks up that that last key that he needs, he is making his way back in the world of darkness here. Wonder where he's going.
Probably going to check the Swamp Palace big chest. He did get the big key to there. Okay, no, it does not look like that's the case. Where is he going? Oh, you know what?
It hasn't done
Pyramid Fairy.
Really? Does he have 5-6 already?
I think they do.
Oh yeah, right there it is. Like I was thinking, yeah, the Swamp Palace Bicky, he has it and it is available to him, but that would surprise me that he would go so deep for that one chest already when there's probably some other things he still has available, such as, you know, the entirety of Ice Palace.
Yeah. I feel like he's gonna, but yeah, as chat would point out, he's gonna do Pyramid Fairy, route in the green pendant turn in, and I'm hoping he goes back for the rest of the chest, at the very least, to check them in Dark Palace of Darkness.
Or maybe he might check Pyramid Fairy and then do Castle Tower. He does have both keys.
He does have both keys for them, but you will want to save Castle Tower for last, at the very least, just so you can get the free refill. And
yeah,
it's at least that's like the kind of like the small idea play.
It is the optimal thing you want, but of course there are those two checks in there that you kind of want, and while they are fairly early, you're already there. So do you want to sacrifice that time getting there to just get that refill later on?
Huh.
Bit of an odd choice, going down the pyramids to mirror there instead of going up the pyramids, which instantly puts you.
Yeah, it's very. Did he do escape? He did do escape, right?
Or did he maybe not finish it? I remember that. Oh, no.
There you go. Yeah,
He's confused.
muscle memory just kind of took advantage of him, because usually you don't go into here unless you're doing Aga.
So yeah, he's he could have mirrored from the top of the pyramid, which would put him right in front of this door here.
Saves you a lot of transitioning time, as well as being tricked by your own poor memory.
I mean, when you're doing these things, you're trying to remember so many things, even with the help of trackers. You have to remember all the how many items and exactly what, especially in key sanity.
As we get 50 rupees from the first chest.
Now we know there's nothing really interesting here in Swamp Palace for Jet, so he's just smoothly making his way through. The Night Diver down there. And he's approaching the end here.
There's our big key to Skullwood, something that we don't really need at this point, but it could lead to boots. It could.
Good. It's just one more check he's allowed to do, and it looks like he is. Yeah, he's making his way up, so he will be doing Aga while he is here, choosing to save this time from having to go up again, compared to the free refill you get if you do this later.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Jet is going to go ahead into the last part of Swamp Palace, finishing up that dungeon once he come across the boss and clean it up.
I remember the very first time I played this game, and I mean vanilla, not randomizer, a long time ago. Swamp Palace really had me going. I really hated it. But now in randomizer, I go through there so smoothly. I actually really like the dungeon.
I think the one dungeon I did not like when I first started playing the game, I think it was Ice Palace, because it was so confusing. Because you had to drop down and then come up again, drop down, come up again, hit the switch, then drop down and stuff.
Yeah, I remember going up and down a couple of times trying to figure out what was what.
All right. So, here's the big question here. How many blue balls? How many blue balls are we going to get today?
I'll put my guess at 5.
I want to say 2. I want to say 2 blue balls, but let's find out at this Agena 1 fight. As always, the very first one to fight is always a guaranteed one, a very guaranteed orb. The rest are going to be random, and that's number 1.
I think the 4th one is guaranteed blue.
Number 2.
Oh, what is
Number
this?
3. Oh my goodness.
All right, number 3 I think is the 4th one. The 3rd blue ball here. That's the guaranteed one.
Yeah, it's always after the thunder. Will always guaranteed an orb that can be reflected. All right, there's another orb.
That's number 4.
Number 4. How cruel can you get?
All right, enough.
Number
That's
5.
5. Now defeat him, so I win. Come on, red ball. No, we're up to 6 already
Number
now.
6. Number
This is
7.
Cool.
Okay, that's it. It's 7. Because after this one is the guaranteed, and that should be the kill.
In the meantime, we are seeing Smith Chain and Hammer Bags from Jets. 2 checks we have not seen yet.
More likely than not, hopefully we find some goodies in those 2, as we have seen the finishing fight from apathyduck. 7 blue balls. That's rather rude. Oh, hello!
It's such a nice find to find here.
Hello, Magic Powder. We got some things that we could do with you right now, my good man.
And after that, now going through Dark Death Mountain, which is a good play for him because it will lead him in Hookshot Cave to a key for Palace of Darkness.
Piece of art from the blacksmith chain, first part 1. Gonna go ahead and take the mirror to go ahead and grab that chest. He's gonna go ahead and mirror into the well part of it. Let us see what is in Magic Pot, Magic Bet today. Just gonna do a little dance, give us an item check. And we get
A compass.
to Eastern Palace. Didn't we just got done with that? Oh, well, no, we did not get done with that. But
Oh, well, the compass might still be good because they still need to kill the boss and they can use the compass to find him.
We could also do item. We also check how many items that we have still need to get left in Eastern Palace as well.
Okay, so it actually has a use, but I don't think these players have any real use since the trackers are already helping them out with that. By that, of course, I mean their personal trackers that they're using.
But yeah, it also reveals the location of if whatever the dungeon that you have found the compass for is a key, it was a pendant. or a crystal on the map screen. But there's really no point in checking it.
Does the compass reveal? I thought the maps revealed that.
You know what? I don't know for sure. Someone can correct me on that one. But yeah, we're gonna check the Jet on blue chest gets half magic. That's gonna be useful somewhat in the for the rest of the seed, as they are now making their way to Misery Mire,
which is absolutely the right play here. He can pick up Bombo's tablets off of the Desert Ledge, clear Desert Palace, and I think he can clear Misery Mire as well, just having a quick look over his items. His one small key, I think that's all you need to clear it. Can you get all the items, though?
For Desert Palace, you will need one small key.
Misery Mire.
Oh, for Misery Mire, you don't really need that many small keys, because a small key will be provided to you from the one enemy that's within the left side of there that you'll need to in order to like, you know, go into that one room that leads to cutscene chest, as well as the compass chest, which is rather weird item placements in that dungeon, which I don't know why that's there, but
get out of the way. Yeah. To answer chat, the Desert Hall was in the waterfall chest in Swamp Palace. Having some trouble setting up the Herapod this time from the apathyduck side. He's going in to go check that Hera big chest because he has that key now.
and we get a red orang in the Hera big chest. Not gonna find anything useful, as we're gonna go ahead and do a little coffee break in the basement.
apathyduck is also being very much criticized by his teammates who are watching.
Yeah, I can understand, because I don't agree with this play. Like going into here to check the other two items that you kind of isolated. You could have held off on this before you go into Turtle Rock, and even then, there's no point in going to Turtle Rock if you do not have the Cane of Samora. My only guess is he's hoping Cane of Samora is there so he can route that into.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of checks left that he can do other than Ice Palace.
Ice Palace, and then going back to Pod to do those checks. But these two checks and the mountain climb is not worth it compared to going back to Pod.
Well, he has the big key of big chest available. He has the Smith chain available, which I think are all things is going to do. Also, the Skull Woods big chest. He has all of those things available, and a lot of them sound more likely than getting that one chest in Pod, in my opinion.
Now, unless there's something big in Spike. No, wait, we checked Spike Cave already. Never mind. I forgot. Jet did this already.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Missed it.
Kind of forgot what it was, but it wasn't something big, is it?
No, just
it's the compass. I figured. Dig spot boots would be great right now. I'll be all for it. I'll be all for some boots being in the earth right now. Some earth boots.
Do we have a shovel though?
Yeah, we do. We just picked up a shovel from Tara's Hera coffee break room, so.
Oh yeah.
Looks like Duck is going to go into. Well, he's going to go to the Dark World here. I'm going to assume he is going to go check Skullwood stuff. The big key. Oh wait, no.
Make Smith chain here.
Smith chain. Yeah, that's the thing.
He's got 3 checks he can do. Unbeknownst to him, one of those will lead him to a 4th check right away. So he's isolating the check in Skull Woods a little bit more, but he might still do that before going to Bod. Or he might not.
Which probably wouldn't make sense because you was already in the direction where Skull Woods is at. Like if you're backing away from Skull Woods at this point, you're going to dedicate not going to their over pod at this point. Yeah, Eastern Palace big. We still need to look for a Turtle small key and Ganon's Tower big key, which I would not be surprised to see Ganon's Tower big key being in Ganon's Tower itself.
Or maybe on one of the tablets, because Jet just picked up the book in Misery Mire.
Oh boy. Okay, quick question. What are the odds of the Ganon's big tower key being in pet right now?
On pedestal, we haven't had a pet check. Oh dear. Well,
With the book, we could check it, but
we can. But the good thing is that pet, of course, is not that much out of the way because it is, of course, an all dungeon seed.
Yeah, it's an all dungeon seed. You're right, but will our runners have the incentive to quickly check ped before finishing the rest of the dungeons to see if they can find any useful information?
It's out of the way though. It's all the way down there in the woods. They've both already cleared Skull Woods. They both could go back in for that big chest in Skull Woods, but even then you're still not super close. But that's the closest you're gonna get to that pedestal. So
Yeah.
if one goes there, we might see that check happen, but maybe not.
We do get a full heart from a container in the lobby room of Misery Mire. So I'm guessing there are going to be a few more checks over here just to see if we can find our big keys today. Because we definitely do need that right now.
You know what's really surprised me in this scene? Of course I know why, but there's still a Master Sword. In a lot of these all dungeon seeds, we very often see big swords very early, but we of course know that there is a sword on Lumberjack Ledge.
I just saw a key, but was it small or big? I think that was a key, because I know that was a
small
key.
Small key to Ganon's Tower.
Okay, that was small. I was about to say, well, we just found out where our big key was. But no, just another small key. That could be useful still. Did Jet do cutscene chests?
Yeah, he did 3 bombs.
Okay.
But we're getting Dick Spot here.
And Dick Spot will give us a small key, and that's going to lead us to Misery Mire.
Where Jet is finishing up. He is going to the back. No more checks to be done. Just the boss. And are we going to finally see... Yeah, he went to Hovo. I was expecting him to do Ice Palace and Hovo. We're now finally going to see that... I mean, Ice Rod. Cave. We're finally seeing Ice Rod Cave from apathyduck, and most likely going to be followed by an actual Ice Palace clear actually for him.
Gets himself a heart, and now he's off to go to Ice Palace. I hope. I really do hope he goes there. He does need to finish that dungeon.
Yeah, this is going to be Ice Palace. I don't really see anywhere else he would go from here.
Meanwhile, Jet is making his way into Vidi. Probably the least one of the least favorable bosses in the game. Especially when you got Randomizer on and you just see like 5 Vidis out of nowhere in this dungeons.
Oh yeah. I'm a bit surprised that with the half magic we're not seeing cape strats. Oh wait, he does not have the cape.
Yeah, he does not have the cape. He does have a bow, but he effectively have taken care of all the small eyes. So now he's just raining arrows down on this big guy, and it's just a clean, quick kill, which yield us some more bombs.
Some more bombs and a pendant. Jet does know where the cape is, though. Apathyduck, what are you doing? Don't you know a hook shot one-shots those pengu gators or whatever they're called?
Yeah, this is why I like item knowledge. Like even if you think you know how most of the items work, there is some. If you have some very extensive item knowledge, you will know that those will kill. You'll also know that, funny enough, if you use the ice rod and hammer, you'll always get like an item from the prize pool of the enemy, which is kind of interesting that I didn't know when I was first starting out.
Wait, so a kill with the ice rod or the hammer, it guarantees you a drop?
Yeah, when you freeze an enemy and use the hammer, you'll always get like an item to drop from the prize pool, if I remember correctly.
Now, the real questions being asked in chat: is there a lore reason why there are 4 useless eyes on Vidi?
Well, they've been holding up Vidi for a long time, and they're getting very tired. So they don't really want to like launch themselves at length. They want to revolt.
Gonna see bomb jump here from apathyduck as he is missing the red cane to do icebreaker.
Yeah, this is the one trick that we have talked about earlier that is very important to do, as Duck has successfully does it first try in clean fashion. It's gonna move on to the next area.
Yeah, icebreaker is fun and all, but you cannot rely on having that red cane, so this is definitely the way to go. More sword strats on these Pingu Gators. Or Pingu Gators. I don't know. And Jet's coming up here on the Pyramid Ferry, which won't give him anything.
Well, you can always check what could provide for bottle wise, and that would be a good thing to check into.
Thank you, Teapot. It's Pen Gators, apparently.
Huh.
And green goo there in that from that ferry, and apathyduck gets his final small key to Palace of Darkness, so hopefully for him that does lead him back there together with that green pendant. Alright, so apparently they are called Pen Gators, but apparently I'm also having some people agree that they should be called Pingu Gators.
Hey, I'm all fine with that. Petition to call all the Pen Gators Pingu Gators.
I may be slightly corrupted by my own childhood from back in the day when Pingu was a thing.
Hey, I watched Pingu too. I really love that show. For some of you that don't know, Pingu was the original Pog champ. I have now effectively ruined a lot of people's lives with that.
Oh my god, really? You can get everything in Ice Palace without a small key if you have the hook shot, or can bomb jump the hook shots thing. Room. Now, in the meantime, while we were talking about all these crazy things from an Ice Palace, Jet has decided to do the same thing apathyduck has, mirrored from the top of Pyramid and went into Aga Tower, so he's clearing that out, and we'll soon be fighting the amazing 7 blue ball Aghanim fights.
Yeah, he's gonna be very thrilled about that.
Oh, this is gonna be a problem, of course, for apathyduck. He is going to be double dipping Meyer.
Oh no, this is the thing that I didn't want to see him do.
Yeah, this is indeed, but this is the right play. There's a bunch of checks he can do in here. He may be hoping even for a vanilla red cane, because from his perspective, this is the right play, I think.
Yeah. From
But he will be-
the perspective of the racer, this will make the most sense. But in the perspective of within the seed altogether, the fact that he had to orphan the fact that he orphaned the Hellstorm hallway
the
hurts
harmless way.
dramatically. I mean, not dramatically. Unless he's going to get some trauma off of not going into Hellstorm hallway. Blah, blah, blah. I am tongue-tied today.
But as I always say, why oh why don't these runners know everything we know?
Well, sometimes they are so laser focused on their screen that they cannot look over to the other side what the other racer is doing or what the other racer has, and then they.
Yeah, sorry, again.
I was gonna say something funny about screen sharing.
I mean, to be clear for anybody watching, this is of course not a thing. The players race on a 10-minute delay, so there is no possibility for cheating. Not that these racers would even try if it could. They are all great racers of their own accord, and they don't need that.
Yeah, they don't need to do that. Now, if it was a friendly goof off sort of race, I could see a local co-op split screen watching action.
There has been talk about that. Speaking of something like that, 2 weeks ago in week 4 of the race, there was no delay on the streams. Screen watching was allowed because it was a co-op race with one racer and one pilot that had the spoiler log. So there wasn't any point really in watching what the other team was doing because you knew where all the items was. You had it on paper in front of you.
Yep. Co-op pilot spoiler log is a very fun category to run because it allows you to do execution at its best as well as figuring out your routing as effectively as possible.
But it was key sanity.
Oh yeah, it was key. It was key sanity as well.
In the meantime, Jet has cleared Aghanim after 7 blue balls as well, so made that fairly easy. And where is he making his way now? I think he's going to go hand in his green pendant.
Why is he going through it this way? I don't think he has any business being in a dark world now.
I was thinking exactly the same, but I think it's slightly faster this way.
You know, you could be correct about that. You could be correct about it because it does take a while for you to get to Sarah's hut to turn in the green pendant. So yeah, this would be slightly bit faster just to mirror out into the hut, go in.
But any time that he's gained from doing that, he's gonna lose from being forced to mirror back as he exited this hut.
Yeah.
Okay, chat's saying that he does have a chest left in pod, and I'm wondering which one that is.
That could be our big key to Ganon's Tower.
Or Eastern Palace.
Or Eastern Palace. We do need either of those big keys in order to progress deeper into them. Well, actually, it could be a small key to Turtle Rock.
Oh, wait, the front door was open, so Jet actually... Oh, I thought Jet skipped the front door and because of that was able to clear everything, but he opened the front door, spending that key, and thus wasn't able to open this one. So he also orphaned the chest and got lucky that he orphaned the one that contained just 10 arrows and not the 10
one. 10 arrows. Wow.
For a very similar play from these two players, resulting in very different results.
Thanks, Seed. I hate it.
And we're seeing apathyduck not finding the red key, of course, in Misery Mire, so he only has a couple of things left. He's going into the Dark World here. I'm guessing he's going to go check the big chest in Swamp Palace from this point.
Yep. He's going to check all the stuff that he's orphaned to last location his Samara Cane. Meanwhile, Jet is probably going to do some last scourging to see if he can find any of the big keys for... Well, hopefully finding the big key to Eastern Palace, because that'll allow him to get into Ganon's Tower. And if he can get into Ganon's Tower, that's a lot more checks, and more likely the place that will have the Turtle Rock's big key. is what I will hope is there. As we
We
get
forgot the book was found, and they're both doing a tablet check, but Jet did not do the one, the Bombus one yet, and is now doing the Ether one.
an ether is 100 rupees. Why do I feel like this is just being a joke here?
No, so neither of the tablets deliver anything. I feel like Jet should have gone and picked up his cape first. He knows where it is. He's seen it on that island, and if he had picked it up, he could have checked Spy Cave while he was here. Oh, but wait, you said we already see that.
Yeah, we
Do
have
it?
already saw it because he went in and stepped on a lot of spikes to get to there, if I'm not mistaken.
But how did he get through though? He has no
He had
cape,
a lot
no
of
blue
hearts.
cape.
He had a lot of hearts. You can still do it with a lot of hearts and hook shot.
So he had a lot. I think it was. I think you need 14 hearts because you lose 13 if you do it perfectly. That's what I've heard.
And a fairy. Okay, so yeah, he had a lot of hearts and a fairy and hook shot.
Yeah, that fairy definitely makes up for that. Okay, so now that the Bombos tablet didn't deliver, apathyduck is going for that. Big
break.
chest Alice. And Jet's doing the coffee break. Yep. So not really much left here. To say not a lot of checks left in the world for those two biggies to be, and the Turtle Rocky.
And we're 1 hour and 41 minutes into the scene where neither runner is in go mode. This is where else do they?
I was about to ask,
check.
what else do we have left? Pedestal, sure.
Pedestal, sure.
What if Pedestal has the small key for Turtle Rock? And everything else is locked behind that small key for Turtle Rock on Laser Bridge.
Either that or the big key for Eastern is on Pedestal.
Okay, so now we're seeing apathyduck goes into Skull Woods. He does still have that big chest available there, and maybe we'll see a pet check while we're there.
Did we check Mushroom at this point?
Yes, it was just a 20, I think.
Okay.
It was, or a piece of heart.
Okay.
It was checked and it was... I do not remember if we saw Iced Tea Room. Say, small key to Turtle Rock. That opens up a lot of things. Now Jet's going back to Turtle Rock. He does not have another small... he did pick up another one small key.
He's gonna end up having to pay another visit to Skull Woods and then going back into here. Double dipping in this dungeon is like the worst thing to do. I feel like if you're going to double dip, you make sure you exhaust all of your options first before going back into Turtle Rock.
And Jet's gonna have to triple dip. Oh, there's the big key, the big chest in Thieves Town still available as well.
All right. We're at this point where we last location and keys, and I don't like this.
We're in for the long haul. This seed has been nasty all the way through with that flute in this first chest of Swamp Palace, and then that Keen getting isolated, and the keys just being wherever they want to be, but not in the path.
Yeah, while I agree key sanity demands double dips, I feel like in a situation where you can avoid double dipping as most, you want to avoid double dipping Turtle Rock.
Well, yeah, double dipping Turtle Rock especially because it's so linear. And that second key that he does have does not open up that much, I think.
Yeah.
Don't you need a third key to get to Laser Bridge?
Yes, you will need a third key to get to Laser Bridge because there's another key. There's another door that needs a key in the Crystal Roller Room.
Of course, he does have the availability of checking the big chest, mimic chest, and the Crystal Roller Room chest.
Point made. Oh, okay. It is okay. It's 2 keys for Bridge, 3 for Trinex. 4 for Lava Island.
Thank you, chat, for correcting us on that. And just 10 arrows. Oh, this is not good for apathyduck.
This is painful. I feel like Duck is a little bit angry about that. Okay, there's our big key to Eastern.
So that's that opens up that dungeon. Of course, Jet will have to find the 4th key or visit Skullwoods before he can clear Turtle Rock. But who knows what the Armless Knights are holding?
Yeah, who knows? He may be orphaning that check altogether from here on in. If he found Eastern, it could pay off. But if Lava Island has the GT key, he is it's gonna have some issues.
He can clear Eastern Palace, which opens up Ganon's Tower for him.
Yeah, that's fine. But I feel like if you have to, like, that's like another. This like if the excuse me. I feel like if you have to, I know, it's just dipping into this so many times in Turtle Rock dipping into Turtle Rock so many times just feel dirty. It really does. Laser Bridge, we do get 20 rupees. Chest number 2 yields a piece of heart. Not something that we want to see right now. 4th chest, bombs of all things. And the last chest will give us a map. So, I don't think we found anything of significance in Turtle Rock.
Well, the Eastern Palace big key.
Well, yeah, except for the Eastern Palace big key. Right.
So Duck is now going Ice Palace to check this last chest. I think he skipped Ice Tea Room.
Yeah, he didn't do Ice Tea Room, so this will be the idea play as far as like last locationing things are. And hopefully, actually, you know what? I hope T-Slime has Ganon's Tower big key, because that would be a great thing for Duck to like slowly get some of the lead back. Otherwise, if Eastern Palace has the big key, we could just say Jet will be finishing this seed very soon.
But if Jet didn't do Ice Tea Room and Ice Tea does have the big key, then this could very well just swing all the way back into Apathy's favor.
Yep.
So that's another chest that he hasn't checked before.
Well, that's because he probably haven't. No, that's right. He didn't do Icebreaker, so he didn't do these sets of rooms at all. By the way,
which
so
he could have. Like these rooms are available with just bomb jump.
Yeah, with just bomb jump, but he went straight to the boss once he was able to get to it. Like the moment he touched down from Ice's bomb jump, he went straight for the boss instead of going through all these checks.
To me, that feels like a dangerous skip to make, because that's quite
it is, and that's why my eyes are like wide open.
Yeah, that's already 3 checks that he has skipped while he was here. Chat's saying he had bombs at the time.
He only had 1 bomb. You're right, but you could still traverse. I don't know. Something tells me this could have been routed more effectively. Especially when you first enter in Ice Palace, especially if he was low on bombs. You could have refilled it by going into the fairy wishing fairy to get a bomb extension for 100 rupees to solve that problem.
And they definitely have the rupees to do that. That would have been a very good call, I think. Yeah.
And in T-Slime Room, we get the red armor. Okay, so that's for the red armor.
That confirms that Jet didn't do that, because he is wearing the red armor, and Jet has now gotten his 7th crystal as he clears the Armless Knights out.
So now he has the ability to go into Ganon's Tower. He's probably Where can we go from here? Ganon's Tower, obviously.
I'm expecting him to just go there right now, right away. Checks.
As we get our Ganon's key guessing games going, or is
So feel free to guess indeed as much as you want in chat. There will be no official game though today.
I would like to think our big key is like key number 25. Don't ask me why.
Well, it can't be.
It's gonna be because he's gonna find the big key to Totorock, and then Totorock will get not the big key to Totorock, but the small key to Totorock, and that'll lead to the boss, and the boss will have the big key to. The boss in some way will have the big key, if not on itself, on pedestal. And if that's the case, this is the most disgusting scene ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, for those, ped is still possible. It could contain the big key because there is a small key to Turtle in the big chest in Skull Woods, which could lead to lava chests. On the other hand, actually, maybe what other checks do we have left? Because both lava chest and Trianix themselves are only in logic if you have all 4 small keys. So where is that other small key? Well, actually, the other small key can be in Ganon's Tower. So if we find a small key there, small key in Skull Woods, go clear Trinex, and then the pedestal contains the big key to Ganon's Tower. Or key on Torch, and then boots on Ped. Thanks, chat. Nice.
All right, here we go. In Ganon's Tower we go. We're gonna check the Hope Room first and see what we come across. Chest number 1 contains small key to Ice Palace.
I want to point out right away, apathyduck now entering Battles of Darkness. He will be getting his red cane very soon.
And he's gonna look at that and be very, very frustrated that he didn't check this sooner.
That's kind of why I missed the face cams that we had in SGL, because those reactions from the racers were priceless.
Oh man. And we are going to check the conference room chest now in Ganon's Tower. Didn't see or get any hits yet. We get 300 rupee stuff for our troubles, a piece of heart, 10 arrows, and 20 rupees.
Big sub red cane mirrors right out, and we are 6 checks in and nothing of significance.
Yeah, Duck is swearing right now. Meanwhile, on top of our torch is the bug net. Yeah, it's rather disgusting that they're still on Master Sword, and yet somehow Ganon's Tower probably have both of their swords at this point.
Well, no. Lumberjack Ledge has the sword.
Oh, right! And there's our boots! There's our boots!
A nice blue cane. So we're 11 checks in, and we found boots. So that will unlock the 3rd sword for Jet.
That is if Jet decides to go back to there to go ahead and get the sword.
I'm fairly certain one of the 2 players, I think it was apathyduck, did not actually check what was on that ledge.
I feel like they're gonna finish doing the rest of the checks in GT and then come across a sword there though. Yeah, that's King's Tomb as well. Bonkrock's King's Tomb and the Lumberjack Ledge, as far as checks go.
And we're now 13 checks in, coming up to Rando Room.
And let us hope it has our desperately needed keys and items. Please let this be something in there. Our runners are probably at their wits' end trying to figure out where's what. And that is our big key to this dungeon. French Vanilla, Thank you, Seed. I hate it.
So, if whoever gets 15, feel free to feel superior to everybody else in chat for a minute, and then you're done.
Oh my goodness.
We still need that last small key to Turtle Rock, though, for go mode.
But yeah, big key on there just means Ped is dead officially, as we are going to check the big chest in here, and that's just a heart. Time to check Ice Armos and see what's that there. See what's there, because I feel like they're gonna end up picking up the silver arrows at this point with this chest coming up right here.
Silver is always a nice find, of course.
Unfortunately, it's just 20 arrows, 20 rupees. Ugh. So we get to see some Ice Armos on normal arrow run, which is could be a little bit difficult, but still is doable. Not that huge of a problem trying to get that out the way, as that is now out the way. What are these chests holds for us? As a heart, there's 20 rupees, and there's another sword,
which he will be using right away as he charges up Ganon's tower. In the meantime, we're seeing some cape strats and now shooting his arrows into the eyeball, and apathyduck clears out Vitreous. So he is not out of this race just yet. He has that clear on Misery Mine now. He has the Red Cane, so we will be seeing him go to Turtle Rock most likely. He does have 3 small keys to there, so he can clear it if he skips Lava Chest, and that could make up quite a bit of time. But will it be enough? At this point, I don't think so. Depending on how long it takes for Jet to make his way to Skull Woods.
Yeah, I don't think any of our runners have checked the last few chests and the last chest in Skull Woods, which is the big key chest, right? I'm pretty sure that's where the Turtle Rock big key, the last small key to Turtle Rock is for.
No, the big chest in Skull Woods is where the third small key to Turtle Rock
Oh,
was. Duck picked that up.
We're about to find out soon enough, unless the distractor.
There's just one more key somewhere, small key that we don't yet know about. Jet's making his way up this gauntlet really fast, like tremendous effort.
And making swift work of Landmost 2. 1 cycling, let's go. He is going to move on to the second half of the gauntlet, which he'll do some disappearing acts on these weird robes, making them all disappear at the sight of red.
It's so satisfying.
As he does an encore performance. Moving on to our other sections, passing through, getting knocked off in the pig bridge, unfortunately. But that's alright, he can just mulligan it and run right through, run right past them. Almost finishing up the touches here on the gauntlet, but I feel like he's going to definitely check the mini Muldrome chest as well as the last chest to pray and find that he gets Turtle Rock key.
He can't afford to skip any of them.
He can't afford to skip any more chests, indeed. And there is the small key to Turtle Rock right there. So might as well do a few more checks just to, look for silvers along the way. We can always use silvers right now.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, with that small key to Turtle Rock find, that's...
Oh, he skips this chest though. He just screws this. We're far behind. We ain't got no time. No more time.
Yeah, he's so he's going.
But yeah, in 1 hour.
And then he opens this this shit and get over arrows.
Big brain plays today. In 1 hour.
Wow.
I meant to say in like 1 hour and 57 seconds, Jet is in go mode, but never mind. He's at 1 hour and 59 minutes. He's in go mode.
Well, he wasn't go mode without the silvers.
He was, but no, now he's definitely is. With the big, he just wanted to flex on board.
Making very quick work of Aghanim here, getting a lot of hits in. And that's, I got 2 down.
You know what? Yeah, I think Dossie might be right on that, though. Silver's always being in there, if they're not anywhere else in Gunness Tower, could be the case. But I feel like Silvers would definitely be in a lava chest if that's the case, to be honest.
So, in other words, silvers are always in that chest when they are in that chest. That's what I'm hearing here.
Meanwhile, apathyduck is going to go into Mimic Cave, and then once he ends up getting his big key to Eastern, he's gonna quickly go through, leave this area.
He's gonna finish Turtle Rock off, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he's gonna finish off Turtle Rock, and then he's going to.
But that also puts him in. He needs the GT big key for go mode.
Yeah.
So he will be leaving here. He can clear this, then he'll be clearing Eastern Palace, and then he goes clear Ganon's Tower. But he has to actually find the key there. So
to actually find the key to Ganon's Tower. Yeah. So just now going back into Turtle Rock to finish that place up. Pretty sure after this they're gonna fight the big pit at this point.
So do you think after the race we can request these streamers that they actually delete the seed from their computer? There was I totally missed it, but Ether was in the Crystal Roller chests.
Oh yeah, yes it was. There was no other place for it to be. Besides Ganon Tower, of course, but you know. Yeah, it did, but yeah, both Bombos and Quake were the key components into entering both Major Mire and Turtle Rock. And thankfully enough, both of our runners found that in record pace time during the time when it was looking for everything else, though. But you know, it's just rando things.
Those two were readily available. There are plenty of other things that were not so nice, but those two were readily available at least.
And I don't like this. Okay, go. Yeah, there. No, don't.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Take the safety exit, please.
He is not taking the safety. He is going for it.
Not please. I beg of you. Does he even have a fairy in a bottle?
But he's still he doesn't.
Wow.
I think he
bold, very bold.
So if he had exited there, he could have created a checkpoint. So if he were to die inside the dungeon, he would at least start there, and not at the very beginning of the dungeon.
Well, it looks like he's fine now. Let's hope he remains like doesn't get hurt along the way in order to finish the rest of this dungeon. But Master Sword, Trinex can be a bit of a.
That's a lot of slashes to get each head down. As both players are going into Trinex here at the same time.
We get to see the actual visual representation as to why Temper Sword is highly desired, at the very least, in these runs. nearly catching just right and then passed him. He passed him.
We're just seeing hammer strats instead of Master Sword because it's just faster.
And a quick, clean kill by Jet, finishing up his Trinex fight. Meanwhile, Duck is going through the last phase of his fight. Ended up firing rodding it, but that's okay. He didn't get hit, so we don't have to worry about it. He cleans up his fight. Duck is not in go mode. He still needs to finish Gannis Tower. Meanwhile, Jet is in go mode. He just needs to save and quit, dive down into the hole, and then just finish the seed.
And there he goes. No fear. With Temper Sword, Red Mail. I think he still has a blue potion, half magic. I mean, he's got everything he needs.
He's got everything to finish this seed up. He doesn't have to worry about anything else for the rest of this seed. Besides not falling down, he can potentially end up dying, but I think he still has a fairy in the bottle, which...
Oh, that too, yeah.
Which in this case, no huge surprise. As we had gone to phase 3, this looks like to be a done case deal here. That's a wrap. Let's go ahead and
let's
finish the seed up.
Let's not count that bridge out yet, though.
You are right. That bridge can be a bit nefarious sometimes as to making runners fall and then lose a lot more time after, tilting, which is unfortunate, but I don't think we're going to be seeing that from Jet today. If we do, I will honestly quit commentary. But
I already quit once because of that flute, but luckily it brought you back. What flute?
Thankfully enough, though, Ganon goes down. Prepare your GGs in the chat. Once Jet crosses that bridge, he'll finally meet the end of the seed in a time of 1 hour.
1 hour? It's 2 hours.
2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours and 6 minutes. Excuse me. Good grief. This seed is a mess, and I feel like our runners have felt the worst of it.
Oh, absolutely. But the official raid time is 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 33 seconds.
GG's to Jet as he finishes up. Meanwhile, apathyduck looks like he's going to work on finishing the rest of the seed. Let us see if... Alright, and it looks like from here we are being united by
apathyduck and momentarily Jet as well. GG's, you two.
GG's. Good work out there.
Bad seed. GG.
Bad seed indeed. I literally tell everyone, like, if we come across Flute in Swamp Palace first chest, I will quit commentary.
Oh, I'm gonna hold you to that.
And lo and behold. So what was y'all first thoughts when y'all came across that?
The flute? Like, the flute... I don't know why flute was a big deal. Like, it didn't really matter at that point.
I mean, I was hurting for flute for a while because I'm like, oh man, this would be great. I can do Mire, I can do Desert. Well, maybe do Mire. And it just... Because I put it off until I ended up going in the swamp. And it's like, oh, of course, first chest.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was fine, but I was still looking for Kane and everything at that point. Like, literally the one chest that, like, I went into pod kind of expecting to full clear. And I just realized how long it would take without opening that first chest. I was like, screw it. I'll just leave harmless. Like, I knew I was skipping a lot of the like optional parts of the dungeons because I did like Hera without anything. I did Swamp Palace without the big key. I did Skull Woods without the big key. So like all that stuff was hanging out. And I was like, well, I guess I should be conservative in pod. And then I was just like, it's just gonna take way too long, and I skipped it. And then the Ice Palace small key in Swamp was terrible because that put all of Ice Palace Thieves Town in logic. I was just going to avoid that. So, yeah, I mean, came down to that. Like, Jet said he triple dipped Turtle Rock, which I'm trying to figure out how you triple dip it in this scene. I honestly, like, I'm still going. I was talking to Emo before this, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I can do an SMZ3 faster than a Key Sandy all dungeons. I'm pretty much right on track.
So my triple dip is I was up at Dark World Death Mountain the first time. I'm like, oh, I can go in. I'm out with one key, and then 2 small keys. I was running out of things to check. This was before I found my Eastern Big Key, so I'm sort of like, let's just go back into Turtle Rock. Of course, that's where the Eastern Big Key is, but I'm still missing my 3rd Turtle Rock small key because I didn't do. I think you said Skullwoods.
Yeah, it was Skullwoods Big Chest because I cleaned up like once the seed dried up for me. I started, like I said, I skipped all that stuff, so I started cleaning. How do I not have a sword still?
Well,
swords. The rest of the swords were on Lumberjack Ledge and
which I never checked. Right.
Tower. Armos chest.
Oh, Armos chest. I didn't go there, so good. I get to do a Master Sword Ganon after full clearing a seed. That's cool.
I saw that sword at Lumberjacks early. I'm like, I hope this is my tempered because that would just make it easier. Like I was really hoping we would have
correct
boots any time in the past 2 hours, like just earlier than what 10 minutes ago. So it's like if I get boots, I get a Castle Tower. I'm gonna do this early, get tempered, and that will hopefully help make things faster. But no, this seed is not that.
Yeah, this seed was.
Look, silver's in literally the last chest. Neat.
Yeah,
there's nothing about this seed that says you can go fast. Flute, I think, is the fastest thing you could get, and an early hook shot helped.
Yeah, like I was doing well early. Like I don't know if you found that hammer right away, but I kind of beeline to it. I did like mini Moldorm at like an hour.
Nah, last location.
Yeah, no, so I had it early, so I was like, well, let me chase this because, that's kind of a big find. So let me get to Dark World, and then I found like Fire Rod in Hide Cave, so I did Skullwoods right away, and like I don't know, I kept finding like little breadcrumbs that kept, and like I was doing really well. It was just like I said, I kept like all those dungeon items I was leaving behind, and then like I think if I just went ahead and full cleared pot, then I'm in the same boat as you, right? I don't know when I get that Turtle Rock small.
Yeah, that's actually a big difference because a lot of those checks that you left behind, a lot of the big chests,
none of them were anything.
Jet left those same chests behind, with the big difference being that, of course, he didn't go back check them because he had the gain from Harmless Hellway, because you both decided to orphan one chest in Wells of Darkness, but a different one, leading to a very big difference in the actual result.
I mean, when I first went in, I was like, oh, I'll leave the first chest because it's easier to get back to, and then, I don't know, I just kind of like, the way my routing ended up working out, it was just easier to get the last one, or leave the last one, and I was like, nah, and I was like, well, I'm not going to come back until I get 6 keys, because that's the only time it's in logic. And then, like, the seed just gave me, like, all that stuff I had to clean up. Like, you hope some of that stuff's in GT, so you just don't have to do it. And it was just one at a time. It was like, here's the Tower of Hera big key, here's the Tower of Hera small key, here's the Skullwoods big key, here's the Swamps big key. I'm like, oh, great. So it just forced me to clean literally all and I figured, like, Jet's probably likely to, or it's at least in the realm of possibility where he gets that Samaria. So I'm just like, well, I'm hoping it's not there. And I hope it's in one of these stupid places. And then, like, again, like the Ice Palace big key was just absolute death because it made me do even more stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I have any other questions because, well, actually, no. Can y'all just delete this seed because this seed is hot garbage?
I mean,
and it needs something stronger than being deleted. Like I need to physically destroy it in fire. It's so bad.
It needs to be removed out of existence because boots being locked in GT. And then, of course, the way how the keys were handled in each of those dungeons, forcing at least a full clear or at least orphaning keep sections of a dungeon. It's a terrible mess.
This has got to be like the latest Master Sword Ganon in the history of this game. And like, by the grace of God, it's not Hammer or Master Sword Silverless.
Yeah, that's something that the game was kind of just nice on, but I think that was just more of an insult to anything, like a condescending way of granting you some relief to finish the rest of the seed out. But I don't think I have any other questions. Do you, by any
I
chance?
think
Rob?
I think the seat spoke for itself, as in get out.
Sounds about right.
I'm
But
about to finish with like a 227, and my best SMZ3 is like a 224. So yes, I literally can do an SMZ faster than this garbage.
That's right.
That's the only reason I'm finishing. Just for this, I just wanted to see
When
where we're gonna end up.
SMZ3 is faster than Z3, there's something seriously wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I paused. I mean, okay, let's give me like a minute back because I was talking to Jet in the chat. So yeah, like 225 flat. We'll call it. I'm gonna finish like 226.
yeah,
Good.
thank you very much for enduring through this seed, and at the very least getting a good, clean finish. Well, not a good, clean finish, but at the very least finishing to be done with the seed once and for all. Do give our respective followers a follow in their respective channels, as well as a follow to our restreamer, Duodeca, as well as our tracker, MM2NS Nest Cartridge, who was pushing the buttons, make sure everything was in order, and then whacking at the tracker to make sure everything was in working order, as well as our co-commentary partner, Rive, as well as me.
And don't forget to also follow these channels so that you can get notified whenever these go live with any of this speedrunning and randomizing action. There's SpeedGaming 1, also SpeedGaming through 6, as well as the ALTTPR League channels, 1 through 5, where there's also action from the Open League. Also very high quality matches all throughout the week and for many weeks to come.
Yep, and that is... I do believe that is going to be all. If you do want to see more speedrunning action of week 6, All Dungeon, Key Sanity, we do have more matches today, as well as Friday and Saturday, so be sure to tune into those. In fact, in about 30 minutes, we have in SpeedGaming 5, we have Spirit Family versus the Immortals doing their race, P-Train versus Roach 788. I don't think you want to miss that race if that's anything you want to tune in for some more high octane seed frustration action.
And there's another race at the exact same time going on SpeedGaming 4 as well, of Waffle House Drive-Thru versus Seal W. And tomorrow it kicks off again at 1:10 p.m. Channels have not been decided yet, but that's why you need to follow these channels so you can get notified when they do go live.
And with that said and done, I think that is a wrap here. This is a link to the past League Randomizer Season 3 Invitationals. I'm your commentator hub, as well as with my co-commentator, good friend Rive. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.